Order! Order! You are an incorrigible delinquent at times. Behave yourself, man!
We all know there's a crisis in adult social care, and a lot of it's down to the cost of providing a carer. But what if you could use technology to do some of that work? That's just what Hampshire County Council is trialling, as our reporter Hannah Bewley has been finding out.
Alexa, play Barry Manilow.
Shuffling songs by Barry Manilow.
You know I can't smile without you.
Because Claire's got MS, she's stuck in the chair and can't move around herself now. It is really important that she is independent, or as much as possible.
Claire and Eric Williams in Fareham are one of 50 households in Hampshire to be given an Amazon Echo device by the County Council. They're part of a £50,000 trial to see how new technology can help elderly or disabled people in their homes.
I can go out now without having to worry how long I'm out for, because Claire can actually ring me and talk to me.
Alexa, stop.
But can a virtual assistant be a substitute for a carer?
I mean, it doesn't do the physical side of things, but for a carer to come in, that costs money. So this doesn't actually cost any money apart from the initial setup of buying the box.
You need other stuff rather than just physical stuff. Your mental well-being. You need to have an interest. I like reading books. Does that for me. Don't think you could do a Sudoku for me.
That would be cheating.
Alexa, lamp on.
Being able to control the lights and turn on music is great, but the problems facing adult social care run much deeper than that.
Alexa, are you going to solve the UK's care crisis?
I don't know that one.
One man who is hoping Alexa will be able to help is Graham Allen from Hampshire County Council.
One of the big challenges that we have here in Hampshire, but indeed nationally and internationally, is just having sufficient workforce to meet the needs of our entire population. So actually using different approaches, including the rollout and use of technology, is absolutely vital in making sure that we use our workforce in the optimum ways and to do those tasks that people need to perform.
How about this one? Alexa, how many more adult social care jobs does Hampshire County Council predict it will need in the next 5 years to keep up with demand?
Sorry, I'm not sure.
Well, the council's own figures say it would need to employ an additional 8,000 people to meet demand. One solution could be to reduce those short visits carers make.
15-minute visits historically were used to both make sure that somebody's safe and frequently also to prompt with things like medications. Now actually use of technology can continuously make sure that somebody's safe. That then means you don't need carers dashing in and dashing out, and that typically leads to worse experiences for people.
But are the systems ready for such responsibility?
I've always advocated using what is available when it comes to this technology as soon as it's safe and sensible to do so, if it delivers an outcome.
Steve Careful provides the hardware for the trial.
There are no councils in the rest of the country that are doing this, even on this scale. So there's a lot of eyes on Hampshire at the moment to understand what can be learned from this and how it can be exploited in the future.
Milk. Always want milk.
Back in Fareham, Claire and Eric's device is becoming part of daily life.
Okay, honey, I've got the list. I'm off to the shops. Bye. Love you. We've got a sign out in the hallway saying, happy wife, happy life.
Alexa, add dark chocolate to shopping list.
I've put dark chocolate on your shopping list.
So it seems Eric doesn't need to worry about being replaced just yet.
Oh, she wants chocolate now.
You've got a friend.
Dark chocolate should always be on the shopping list. We know that for the future. Could Alexa be part of the solution, even with inconsistent Wi-Fi?
I mean, these uses of technology are potentially genuinely transformative. We've seen them a lot in the NHS. They've obviously got huge potential in social care. But again, if you haven't got the broadband infrastructure at the back of it, then they're not going to be as useful as they could be. So there's an awful lot to be said for this, but we've got to make sure that we don't rush in without getting the groundwork done first.
Right. Is it really a substitute, though, for having a carer there?
No, of course it's not, but it's a part of the solution. And I think the advantage that you heard earlier is if you can use this to do some of the easier bits, then you can free up the human resources, which are the most valuable and the most expensive parts.
I mean, interestingly and unsurprisingly, Alexa didn't know the answer to the more technical questions, or perhaps not that technical, about how many people might be needed to help with social care. Would you welcome this as a pilot?
Yeah, I think technology can be part of how we meet the needs of people who need social care in the 21st century, but it's not a substitute for people. People will still need a human touch and human kindness and human care. And what I'm hoping is that the increasing use of technology frees staff up to do more of the human touch aspects of their work, and that's what people want as well as technology.
It's still a critical priority, isn't it, for people? When is the government going to get a grip of the issues of social care?
Well, I think we've committed to coming forward with a plan. There isn't a date yet for that, but I think the reason for that is ultimately because we all recognise that with the population ageing as it is, this is a hugely
Which we've
complex...
known about for quite some time.
Absolutely, but it's a hugely complex challenge, and we've got to get it right so that it's fair on everyone that uses the system. And Labour haven't come up with an alternative plan that works everywhere on this either. And I think it's vital that we acknowledge that this is immensely difficult. I would rather wait a little bit of time and come up with a better answer than say, here's something that we know isn't very popular and isn't going to work.
You did have it in your manifesto last year in the general election, and that was a year ago, and it is really about time, and that's why I am focused on the local elections, because actually the cuts are falling on local authorities, and that's partly why people are struggling.
All right, we're going to have to leave it there, both of you. Thank you very much on our Alexa experts here.